right, so the fifth chapter, so a person of influence understands people. So, if we strive for understanding others, if we strive to understand others, there's no telling how far we can go in our journey to gain influence. So, obviously, it's one of the major keys. And, people really want to be listened to, heard, and understood. Sometimes, this may be a harder one to try to practice or whatnot, maybe because of like fear, self-consciousness, failure to appreciate differences or acknowledge similarities, that type of thing. So, understanding people, everybody wants to be somebody. And nobody cares how much you know unless he knows how much you care. Right? You guys probably heard that one before. But everybody needs somebody. Everybody can be somebody when somebody understands and believes in him or her, and anybody who helps somebody influence a lot. Excuse me, let me read that again. Anybody who helps somebody influences a lot of people. So that's kind of interesting. Just understanding is super important. That's kind of what this chapter is getting at. So here's another tip. And again, if you guys want to see these tips again, just come back and review, or I can share them later. Just let me know. But a template idea is just ask the questions. Ask questions to gauge your understanding. So you can ask these about people. Where did they come from? Where do they want to go? What is their need now, and how can I help? So these are just a few questions to kind of ask yourself about someone else to gauge your understanding of them. If that makes sense. Again, another Bible verse in here, Ecclesiastes 4:9 through 12. Everybody needs someone. And it's just the Bible verse that's talking about, two are better than one because they have a good return for their labor. If either man falls down, one can help the other up, that verse. So everybody needs somebody. I moved on to chapter 6, a person of influence enlarges people. So enlarging people primarily deals with mentoring. And this is the first chapter on mentoring. So it's 3 chapters total. So the next 2 will be on mentoring. So the process of mentoring, it really weighs heavily on integrity. Because, you're trying to teach somebody something, you're trying to, take them on a path and trying to help them out, whatnot. If you're not a person of integrity, then you're hurting them, you're hurting yourself, you're not helping at all. So really, really is important to be a person of integrity before you even think about mentoring. So, mentoring turns people's dreams into destiny, their potential into reality. So that's just really big. So when you enlarge people, you raise their level of living, you increase their potential for success, capacity for growth, and potential of your organization, even so, when you're mentoring people. So he lists out a few steps to maximize enlarging people. So you see their potential, cast a vision for their future, tap into their passion, address character flaws, focus on their strengths, enlarge them one step at a time, put resources in their hands, expose them to enlarging experiences, and teach them to be self-enlargers. So just one of those that stuck out was casting a vision for their future. So this, I've seen this before a few times, and this is kind of like, traveling ahead in your mind to where they want to go, where they can be, coming back and then bringing them to their future. So when casting a vision, you're telling someone they are really good at something. They tend to not want to let you down and prove you right. So this can be seen like you say, hey, you take notes really well. Do you mind taking notes or something like that on this meeting? And then that other person is going to be like, okay, this person thinks I'm a good note taker. I don't want to let them down. Let me take some really good notes. Let me think about what I'm actually doing, and take some good notes. And it's kind of like a self-fulfilling prophecy where, okay, because he believes me now, like I'm going to become this, and I don't want to let that person down. So that was kind of the big takeaway from that chapter, the first in mentoring. The second being chapter 7 is a person of influence navigates for other people. So navigating is kind of taking others under your wing and helping them through a potentially unpleasant situation or something like that. Just kind of how it sounds, navigating the waters, showing them the way, that type of thing. So he listed out a whole bunch of quotes. I won't go over all of them. But to bury our dreams is to bury ourselves, for we are really such stuff as dreams are made on. God's dream for us is to reach our potential. That's really good. Dang. So, he lists off again. He's always listing some things that kind of help and aid to figure out about a person. So, what do they cry about? Which is what touches their heart? What's really important to them? What do they sing about? What gives them joy? And what do they dream about? These type of things can really help you understand where they're trying to go, where they want to go, and navigating for them, giving them attention. And he lists off 4 things to help others understand. So everybody faces problems. Successful people face more problems than unsuccessful people. Money doesn't solve problems, and problems provide an opportunity for growth, which is the one that I just absolutely love. What lies behind, what lies after pain and endurance and trials is just growth. So that was big right there. There's a whole bunch of studies that he put on here. One was on setting intermediate goals. So the purpose was to find a way to help new unskilled employees reach their optimum performance. So this was done by a president, a company president, and he's also a psychologist. So what he did, he divided these new laborers into 2 groups, and one group was told to he wanted to match their level of skill to some of his more seasoned guys, and he wanted to see how fast he can do that. So he gave them a 12-week time, and he told the first group to match the production of the skilled workers by the end of 12 weeks, period, point blank. In the second group, he gave weekly goals, and each goal was slightly more ambitious than the previous. So they just got harder and harder and harder. He did that for 12 weeks. And then what he found was the first group, only 66% of the workers were able to meet expectations. Again, and those expectations were to match the level of the skilled workers that he already has. But the second group, however, performed significantly better, being able to match the skilled workers more quickly. So that's pretty big right there. It's setting those intermediate goals, navigating for us and whatnot can really help us get to that goal quicker than just saying, okay, here's your goal, go. That's really not going to help. So that's a big key point in mentoring. And the third and final chapter on mentoring is, I believe this is the third last one, is called Connects. The person of influence connects with people. So connecting with people can be mutually beneficial. And it is, it's about walking alongside people. So not just like saying, okay, hey, this is where you want to go. Okay, let me help you, whatnot. Okay, these are the steps. Here's your goals. Go. It's more so with a mentoring process of actually going and walking along with them. So, don't take people for granted. Possess a make a difference mindset. His kind of points for connecting with people. Initiate movement toward them. So leaders must be initiators. He was really big on this because people are not going to initiate. And this goes, this has a much broader, application than just mentoring. We have to be initiators. The stranger template and stuff like that. We have to be initiators. We have to go. We have to be the people that talk up. Look for common ground. And right here, I wrote that form. If you guys heard of me talking about that as a family organization, recreation, meeting, that type of thing. So things or meaning, things that you can talk about that you can easily find some common ground in to connect with people. Recognizing and respecting differences and personality. And he flat out mentioned, personality plus with the sanguine, melancholy, phlegmatic, and choleric. And so that's going to be another book that I'll be talking about a little later on. But just briefly, for the sanguine, you're saying connect with excitement. For melancholy, connect by being focused. Phlegmatic, connect by giving assurance. And choleric, connect with strength. So that was kind of a big one. Was just connecting with others and just seeing the importance of connecting. And one of the best templates, one of the best tips for templates that I've seen in this book is right here. And he lists off 3 F's, so I call it the triple F technique. So if people are not really being receptive to connection or something like that, try to connect on an emotional level. And how he says that is feel, felt, and found. Feel, felt, found. So try to sense what they feel and acknowledge and validate the feelings. And then from there, share how you've also felt the same in the past. And then at the end, share what you found that has helped you work through the feelings. So acknowledge their feelings, show that you felt the same, and then show what you found to help combat those emotions. It's a great template or tip. I keep saying that. Great tip that I think in moving forward with connecting with people and finding commonality. So chapter 9, a person of influence empowers people. So here, this chapter really stresses empowerment, and can only occur from a place of authority. You can encourage and connect and navigate for people you've met, mentoring and all that. But if you don't have an authority over somebody, then you can't really empower them, because empowering is increasing their ability without decreasing yours. It's giving them more responsibility and stuff like that. So in a business setting, it's giving them projects, giving them tasks, and kind of like saying, okay, like I believe in you and that type of thing. So empowerment, he defines it, is giving your influence to others for the purpose of personal and organizational growth. So to empower, we must have a position. Again, you can't empower those you do not lead. Relationship, having a relationship with them, and respect causes them to want to be empowered. And commitment, we have to have the right attitude to empower. And just listing off a few steps for empowerment, evaluate them in their knowledge, skill, and desire, model for them. So kind of like be the example, give them permission to exceed, expect it, verbalize it, and then reinforce it. Transfer authority to them, publicly show your confidence in them, supply them with feedback, and release them to continue on their own. So that's empowerment. And then the last chapter was a person of influence reproduces other influencers. And this is, again, it's just like, making disciples and disciple makers, that type of thing, of just taking the next person and saying, okay, this is the next step being, I want to send you out on your own to go do exactly what I've just done. That type of thing. So handing the baton off to the next person so they can run their own race. Because if you don't do that and you just stay in the steps right before that in the term in influence, then they're going to burn out and it's not going to be good, and they're going to walk away. And it's not going to be as beneficial as it can possibly be for them. So you have to pass that baton on. You have to, reproduce. So, benefits of reproduction of leaders, it raises your influence to a new level, because every person they influence, you have influence because you've influenced them. It raises their personal potential. It multiplies resources, and it actually, ensures a positive future for your organization. So he lists off a few stages of multiplication. He has scramble, survival, siphon, synergy, and significance. Pretty much what those were like organizations, they would stay in these phases, and the last being reproduction, the first being stagnation. So it's kind of like a cool thing to hear about, but not super important. So those are the total chapters, and then I'll get into some proposals.